Well, I'm afraid you're having to have a rather haggard James on camera on a hastily set up centre pod here. I'm in the Skoda Octavia, off to see the customer that had the Peugeot TP off of me. Now, if you remember, I sold them the Peugeot TP, and within about 48 hours of them having it, I think, it came up and went into limp mode, came up with engine management light, came into limp mode. So I raced down, I did the video of racing down that evening, plugging in, checking what the code was for, swapped it out with my Suzuki Swift Sport, so they had something to run around in, and took it over to the Moors guys. The Moors guys plugged it in and said that the codes weren't correct, that it was a body control unit issue. So they ordered a body control unit. I messaged the guy back and said, unfortunately, we're going to have it a couple of days to do the body control unit. So he messaged me and said, no problem at all, when do you think you're going to get back? Which obviously everybody asked. The difficulty is you have to say a longer period of time, because parts can be a problem and so forth, can't they? Anyway, the guys ordered in the ECU, and it turned out to be the wrong one. The body control unit, sorry, it turned out to be the wrong one. So I had to let the customer know it was going to be delayed because of that. I said, okay, as long as I get it back at this point, because I'm going camping with my kids, and the chap is in the army, and he's just come back from quite a long period, a long deployment, spending some time with the family, and booked a camping trip with them. So that's one of the reasons they wanted a bigger vehicle, was so that they could get everybody in, no problem at all, with all their kit. Well, the new body control unit came, and the guys didn't manage to fit it in time yesterday, and he needed the car this morning. So they jumped on it first thing this morning, and he said he's going to delay leaving by a couple of hours so I can bring the car back over to him. Unfortunately, they've put it in, and it's all working bar. They haven't got any wipers working on the car. So they need to send the ECU back. They did get a brand new one, but apparently they need to send it back and get it sorted. They're pretty confident that's what it is. So I've had to call the customer, say he's due to head off on his trip today, and say, sorry, you can't have the car back. Now, we could plug the old ECU in, because old body control unit in, because I did plug it back in and drove it for half an hour without it going into limp mode, but it could go into limp mode again at any time and leave the customer stranded. There's nothing, just to clarify, nothing mechanically wrong with the car. There's a body control unit issue that's giving erratic codes or whatever. So it is drivable, but if it goes into limp mode, he'll be stuck crawling along again. So I've messaged him. Now, understandably, he's immediately said, look, James, I've had the car, I've done like 50 miles in it, and I'm getting to the point where my right to reject the car, I think he thinks his right to reject the car is 14 days, but it's not, obviously it's 30 days. I think he said my right to rejection is coming to the end. He said, and also I'm eating into my warranty period as well. I gave him a 3-month warranty with it. So he said, what's the score with all of that? I said, look, at the end of the day, you've been really inconvenienced. I've got no problem at all refunding you right now for the car, giving you your money back so you can find something else. I said, I know it doesn't help you right now, but I've got no problem with that at all. I said, if regards to you keeping the car, I said, I have absolutely no issue with restarting your warranty from the point you get the car back again. I said, and obviously your return rights, restarting your return rights from the point you get your car back again, as in you're rejecting the vehicle. I said, I've got no problem with that at all. I said, I'm absolutely gutted to be wrecking your holiday, which I genuinely am. I know your time with your kids is really, really important, and but at the end of the day, these cars have thousands and thousands of components, so that's the trouble with used cars, isn't it, unfortunately. And we did do a lot of test driving in it, and it drove absolutely fine. So anyway, I really did apologise and said, look, I said, look, at the end of the day, you've got up to 6 months to reject this car. I said, because if the same fault happens again within 6 months, I only get one opportunity to fix it. So you've got 6 months to reject it. I always, I've got no problem at all telling people entirely what their rights are with a car. I always figure that if I do that, people should genuinely see that I'm being genuine. And I'm not trying to hide something or get out of anything. I'm actually going over and above and telling them longer than they think they've got. And I think he appreciated it. He said, look, I've got no problem with what you're doing, James. I would still recommend you. He said, I can see you're trying to help, which is brilliant, which is exactly what I want to hear. I said, how about if I try and bring you down a bigger car that you might already be able to get in? So hence, this is why I am now in the Skoda, because it's just had its brand new MOT. It is taxed. So we can drop that off to them. I've told them they do need to sort out their own insurance, which I'm sure they have done, so they can hopefully pile in this, and it'll have as you know, it might not be as high a roof line as the Partner, but it's got a huge boot on it. It's got a good engine for good fuel economy, plenty of poke for them. They should all fit in it quite nicely, so hopefully that's going to help them out. Like I say, it doesn't do anything to help them with their obvious sort of concerns about this vehicle. And it's an interesting question, isn't it, when you get a car that's getting faults that early on and you're starting to lose confidence in it, is it a bad thing and you should get out of the car straight away because you're immediately having problems, or is it a good thing because it didn't happen when your warranty had run out, and hopefully this means you're even likely to have less problems with it going forwards? I don't know. Comment down below. What's your opinion on that? Logic would suggest to me that if you're having problems early on with the car and they all get sorted, then they might well have been problems you'd have been picking up the bill on later on. But I too totally understand if people go off a gut instinct and say, you know, this car's gonna be problematic for me. So we'll go and drop this car off to them. Will I regret lending them the car while they're going on a family holiday? It's going to definitely need a hell of a valet afterwards. It's a really good car. I was going to clean it this weekend and put it up for sale, and I have no doubt it probably would have sold it this weekend. Obviously it's going to get some miles put on it as well, but there obviously won't be any charges from my point of view whatsoever for any mileage, and they obviously, unless they start using it as a taxi service. I've got to go and put some fuel in it from, because it's not got fuel in it, and I wouldn't chip them on that either, because again, just because the inconvenience. And I do genuinely believe as well that a recommendation for someone that's had a problem that can give you a review on how you dealt with that situation is far more valuable than someone who got a car and gave you a review because they never had a problem with it. Because anyone can sell cars that don't ever have a problem. You know, you can sell newer cars and have that. What you want to know is, what's the dealer going to behave like when I get an issue with the car? Are they going to make me run around trying to sort it out? Are they going to give me the runabout, or are they going to help me straight away? So hopefully this will end up in a positive story where we end up getting the car back to them fixed, and they're happy and able to start enjoying some holidays in it, and this Octavia will be able to prevent them losing out on their little trip this weekend. We shall see. Let's get over to them ASAP. Now, I will put this little point in there as well, because it always happens. You always get people in the car, why don't you send out cars properly in the first place? Let's have a quick reminder in case you don't watch Chops Garage. Chops Garage specialises in, or CG Cars specialises in cars over 10 years old, normally over 60,000 miles. These cars will be 3 times over what the manufacturer warranted them for. They all go in and get an advisory-free MOT. I did an advisory-free MOT on this car. I also did a cam belt service for them included as well. Oil and filters and fuel filter. I gave money to go and get rear tyres done because it was in a hurry. So we prepped that car. I drove it for about an hour myself with no issues at all. It's gone out for a couple of days and then it sprung up this problem. That car, as I said, has thousands of components on it. Who knows when any one of them can fail at this point in the age of the car. So it's not a case of sending out properly in the first place. We go over and above on prep. I worked out my warranty claim rate the other day. I think I get a warranty claim in about 1 in 30 of the cars I sell. So to sell cars of this age and have claim rates like that, I would imagine new car dealers are getting claim rates like that. So yeah, I have no issue with the way we're prepping our cars. I don't see what more I could possibly do, unless you want me to use the cars myself solidly for a month at a time and sell 1 car a month. I don't see what else I can do. I'm sure I drive them for a lot further than most people do on their used vehicles to check them out. And like I say, I'm sure we go over and above on the prep on them as well. And I say, in most cases, if your used car of this age fails, you're not given a loan car at all, are you? Now, by the time this video comes out, it'll probably be your last chance to enter the raffle for our 2014 Mini Cooper S Roadster. It's only done 47,000 miles. It's in fantastic condition inside now. It's the little convertible 1.6 turbo, fantastic fun to drive. It will be coming out with a brand new MOT and a 6-month national warranty that can be used at any VAT registered garage. When you enter the raffle, you'll be helping support our charity of choice this month, which is Canine Focus. It's a charity that rehomes dogs. Should you want to enter but you're not that bothered about the car, we have the alternative prize of £3,000 cash and about £1,000 worth of top-don technical equipment. What we'll then do is sell the car off and give the proceeds after your £3,000 to the charity as well. So I'll put a link in the video description down below. Be sure to check out those discounts on the right hand side in the yellow box at the top there, because you'll get bundles where you can get multiple tickets free when you buy a certain amount. Best of luck to you all, and thanks for all those supporting already.